Work billed but not performed.
As you're aware, the vehicle was mechanically repaired by your shop and then transferred to one of our contracted locations so that we can complete the bodywork on this vehicle. When the vehicle was inspected by our contracted location, it was determined by them and the supporting documentation that they've submitted to us that the repairs that you guys did were not sufficient. They weren't done properly. There's still issues with the vehicle's alignment. There are still issues with the repairs to the vehicle's tires and right side damage that in the suspension. So at this time, the check for your the work that you guys have done has been voided, and I am requesting that you submit documentation to support the work that you stated that you did on the vehicle, things such as the alignment specs, pre and post scans, work orders, things of that nature, so that we can verify what work was completed by you and make sure you're paid sufficiently for said work. Right, but as I stated, that hasn't been proven to be true. The documentation that was submitted by our contracted location shows that the alignment is still not complete on this vehicle. It's still out of alignment. It doesn't look like the wheels that were authorized to be replaced were actually replaced. It doesn't look like the suspension that was supposed to be replaced was replaced. And it looks like we were billed for additional things that were not necessary to the vehicle's function. And as a result, we are going to need to reevaluate this before payment can be made. I have a copy of the documentation the customer signed, which was an authorization for you to do a teardown on the vehicle and assess the damages. I don't have a copy of any sort of documentation that she agreed to the estimate and the prices that you charged. If you have something to that effect, you're welcome to send that in to me along with the reported documentation. But at this point, we need to be able to prove that the work that you were paid for has been completed before we can. Okay, right, my apologies. What I'm saying is that the approved work has to be showcased to have been completed if you'd like payment on this. I mean, I wouldn't recommend that because we will provide our insured with an attorney if that's the case. And also, all we're saying is that if you could support the work that you did, we will pay you for it. But if you can't support it, then I'm not sure what a judge is going to be able to do for you. Mm-hmm. Right, but the work that we're saying that we authorized hasn't been proven to have been completed by you. Again, I can see just based on the inspection photos that were sent in by our contracted shop that you didn't replace the tires because I have the pre-repair photos, like the damage photos from the scene, and they're the exact same tires. Exactly, and that's what we're doing too, is we're looking into this to make sure that we're paying properly for what has been completed, because again, billing us for work that you do not complete is a form of insurance fraud, and it's the most common type of insurance fraud by body shops. So in this case, we're going to need to showcase that the work that you were approved for was actually completed if you'd like payment for it. Well, you should have done two different alignments because you had to take the vehicle back for additional repairs. So you should have the alignment from the completion of the first repairs and the alignment from the completion of the second repairs when you stated that you had repaired the suspension to the vehicle and replaced the tires, which doesn't show that that was actually done. Okay, so, right, what I'm saying at this point is I need that documentation from you. I need a copy of all of the diagnostics you did, the scans, the specs, I need the work orders, and then I'm gonna have the estimator who approved this reach out to you to further discuss the repairs because I'm not a specialist when it comes to repairing vehicles. I'm just the claim handler. But I'm telling you right now that the check has been voided. That way you guys don't try to cash it and incur fees for a voided check. Yes, we can, because like I said, we have evidence and actual documentation that shows that the repairs that you stated that you completed were not done. So at this point, we don't owe you for that unless you can prove it. Right, I'm gonna have him reach out to you so you can discuss that with him further in terms of the actual repairs, but as far as I'm concerned and what I'm telling you is the check's been voided. I need the documentation to support what you say you did, and then we can go from there. Great. I'll send you an email with that request. Have a great day. If you did the work, why is it such a big deal for you to show me that? Like if somebody was claiming I didn't repair their vehicle, I would be like, here's all the documentation to show I did. And if you can't show me that, it's because you didn't do it. I mean, we don't have a high standard in terms of proof for that. Like you just need to show that the reports were ran, the diagnostic was done, pre and post scans, the alignment, all of that. If you can showcase that to us, then we're happy to pay you. But if you can't, then you don't deserve payment for work you didn't do. I fear that's the most basic agreement between an insurance company and a shop. Like,